Live from fabulous Buffalo, Minnesota, it's Whiskey Trivia Night in America with your hosts, world-renowned bourbon reviewer and internet sensation, Greg Welch, and self-proclaimed Brown-Forman truffle pig, Ben Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Bourbon Note!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today we're live and drinking bourbon.
And doing Whiskey Trivia Night in America.
And doing Whiskey Trivia Night in America against the amazing top half of a suit.
Yes, exactly.
Don't ask.
The top half. You only need the top half when the bar is up this high. So hello to everybody who's in the chat. We've got a few people in there already, which is awesome.
Bourbon School.
Bourbon School
Aiden.
just hit 200 subscribers, I think today or recently. So
Nice.
Good on you guys. Go subscribe to Bourbon School.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Rowe,
JT is in the house. Happy Hump Day, Dave Vogel saying. I think that's Dave, you must be new in the chat. I don't recognize that, but welcome. So, Whiskey Trivia Night in America.
What's that all about?
We had to postpone last week.
Yeah, because of flooding.
Yeah, well, not quite flooding, but yeah, my water heater sprung a leak. So there was water on the floor, but I needed a new one.
In a basement, so unfortunately, water flows not uphill.
Yes. Oh, Greg Aarons is in the house. He's the one who hooked me up with the bottle that's coming up and all these wonderful samples. So what's up, Greg?
Bobby.
Bobby's in the house. Bad Axe Bourbon. Go subscribe. Do we need to throw some?
If you want to do wrenches,
I think
ability.
We probably should. And let me see if I can get this to work here. So bear with me. So they're not seeing any of this. They're seeing the screen. Nice. So entertain the internet, Greg.
All right.
Well,
it'd be really entertaining. I'm a fraud. I do not know how to taste whiskey. I've not watched that video yet. So it's another YouTube channel.
ADHD whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to mute this when it comes up. Okay, so let's see if I can throw some. Okay, I don't know how to do this.
You're logged in as Ben.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to change to switch
account.
Yeah.
Sorry
about this.
That's going to bring me the.
Yep.
You would think that at some point we've been doing live streams long enough. We would just work this stuff out before.
We need an assistant.
But last time that all people that had wrenches before still had wrenches? See, now I don't know how to do this.
Oh,
that's just bring me the channel dashboard, which I still don't know how to.
No, so you need to go to the live stream.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Under content?
No, go back to youtube.com.
If I do that, it's going to bring me into Ben again.
Nope, it won't.
Okay, so youtube.com.
Yeah.
Sorry
about this. We're almost ready for the amazing trivia.
And you guys are going to definitely, our Patreon subscribers are in for a treat. At least one of them is.
Yeah, we have some pretty interesting.
See, it's still me.
All right, we'll worry about it later.
Yeah, so we'll just have to figure that out at a different time. But I think some other people had wrenches at some point.
Yeah.
So anyway, getting back to it, class is in session. If you want to learn something, you got to go to YouTube. Bourbon School. Okay, so Bobby's able to drop is that a link? Or is that just
no? He just called.
Okay. Jonathan Matlick says, cheers, welcome. All right. Everyone's talking amongst themselves. So we're doing Whiskey Trivia Night in America. As I'm looking at the screen right now, let's go full screen for a second here. I'm realizing I forgot to turn the blue lights on in the background.
I hate it.
Again, this is 2 live streams in a row. So do we take the time to turn them on?
No,
because you're kind of blending in a little bit. The live stream is a little.
All right, go.
It's a little lower quality stream.
All right, then go for it.
And I also have to grab a beer.
Oh, a beer.
A beer. I'm in the throes of my mostly dry February. I have had a couple of days that I worked in advance that I knew I was going to have a few drinks. So I added days at the beginning of the month, and I've got a couple at the end of the month too. So it's been a mostly dry month. So I'm crushing a non-alcoholic beer tonight. So I'm going to grab that, and I'll get these turned on real quick.
Okay.
So
turn on the lights.
This is the only the second live stream that we've had these new lights for.
Yeah, he got new lights, and he's really proud of them. That's why he's they can actually see that you're not wearing anything below the waist.
Oh, well, this video
He's
just
actually
got
wearing like jogging pants that are not light blue.
They're athletic pants, but I don't do anything athletic in them. I lay around on my couch in them.
Well, that's what everyone does with it's like yoga pants. There's never been a person in the history of the world that's actually done yoga in yoga pants, right?
There's probably one or two, maybe. But, I mean, I certainly wouldn't hang out with those people. All right, so we're back. Let's get into it.
If we don't include Bobby, nobody's ever done yoga in yoga pants, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know what his... Brian is always PJs under the bar. See, yeah, you got to be comfortable when you're doing this stuff. Need to watch a video on how to switch accounts and make users moderators. Yes, Brian Vaughn, you are absolutely right, for sure. Brian Vaughn has a channel. I was actually watching your channel, Brian.
What's he talking about?
Provided I have the correct Brian, because he's a subscriber. He's got a channel. It's all about like mountain biking and like around Minnesota. Really? And so he puts a GoPro on his mountain bike and goes to all these different trails in Minnesota. It's really cool. Yeah. Brian, am I correct? Do I have the right Brian here?
I'm interested. Like, is it okay to walk on some of those trails? Because I'm not going to mountain bike.
I don't think so. They're pretty narrow. They're definitely meant for.
Well, that was a fat joke. That's not cool.
They're meant for bikes. They're like the width of a wheel. Like they're not a good stride, you know. And you'll probably get hit by a bike.
Have you ever spent some time on YouTube just like watching like bike wrecks and stuff like that?
All the time. Yeah. I went down a rabbit hole one time where I was just constantly watching videos of people getting attacked by kangaroos, and it was one of the best times of my life.
Kangaroos are amazing.
I was truly happy whenever I was watching that. Anyway, let's get into the task at hand here. We've got Whiskey Trivia Night in America tonight. So for those of you that have not seen this, because we've only done it once, supposed to do it last week, had to cancel. Yeah. We have a game that is a bunch of whiskey. It's called Bourbon Trek. This is a gift that I got for Christmas. Thank you, Danny and Preston. And it's all bourbon trivia. And so we figured, well, why don't we make
I'll do that in a minute.
A live stream of it here.
Yep.
And so we're going to play tonight.
Yep.
Against each other, but we're each going to be playing on behalf of one of our Patreon supporters.
Correct.
So if you're not a Patreon supporter, you can do that at Patreon and just look up the Bourbon Note.
Yeah.
So last week we played for samples. We gave away 2 weeks ago, we gave away a Stellum Wright County Whiskey Club private barrel and a Knob Creek Wright County Whiskey
Club. Not an entire barrel.
Yeah, not the whole bottle. Yeah, samples. And a Knob Creek Wright County Whiskey Club private barrel. Both of them excellent.
Yep.
So this week, Greg brought a couple of bottles over that he surprised me with, and they're pretty awesome. Story time. We need to talk to you, man.
We need to talk. So Storytime sent us some samples.
He says, I know I owe you a conversation. Let me know when it's a good time to connect. Perfect.
So one of these Wednesdays, ideally, we would have you on as an actual guest so that we can do the flight you sent us that we don't know what they are, so that when we say, letter A is the best, we even know what letter A is.
Yeah, we intend to drink them blind, but unless you can reveal them at the end, that's a total different blind. So anyway, we're each going to be playing. We're going to go to the random wheel.
Okay, let's go to the wheel and figure out.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's remove this from the studio, and let's go to the wheel.
The Wheel of Doom, as they call it.
Okay, so we're going to give this a spin. Each of us are going to be playing for one Patreon subscriber. We're going analog with the score here. Are you ready? They can still see you.
I know. It's okay.
All right. Are you ready?
But I'm small.
That's true. Yeah. We're just a little nub in the corner here. So, contestant number 1 that Greg will be playing for. If it's David again, it doesn't count because he won the last one. Bad Axe Bourbon. All right.
I think David would kind of yield and allow someone else to participate.
Right, and we can remove names, but we'll just keep them in there.
And
yep. We'll just keep spinning. And so who am I playing for?
Playing for?
Could be Stephen Joes again. Okay, David. So we got to spin again.
Yeah, this wheel is like one-sided heavy. We're gonna spin it again, David.
If it's David or Bobby again, we're just gonna have to remove them and then spin it for a
wonderful supporter. But
okay, David. How many times?
Yeah, let's go ahead and remove him. We know who he is, and we'll add him back for the next time.
Okay, so how do we? Let's remove Bobby as well, just so we don't keep.
Yeah.
So apparently, David, buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so I am playing for Mike Meyer.
Serial killer.
All right.
Mike, we know, well, I won't say that. That's personal.
Okay, so now let's get back to solo layout here. So Bobby is
yes,
in the...
You're hoping for a lot of Basil Hayden questions. Thank you very much.
Is that what he said? Greg did win last time. So we've got 4 categories. We've got pop culture, history and lore, science and craft, neat or nice. Feel free to throw your answers in the chat because we'll go full screen when we ask the questions. So we won't be able to see yours.
Correct.
And we won't come out of full screen until
we make
a decision. So what are we playing for?
Oh, yeah, we should probably bring the bottles in.
2 samples.
We're going to do samples of these bottles.
And these are nice ones. We've got a sample of BAM Peerless Double Oak, which is outstanding.
It is amazing. That's what I'm sipping on at the moment.
Really, really good.
Really impressive.
And this one, this is amazing. BAM. I can't slide these in like I normally do.
There's so much
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C919. This is the 136.8 2019 batch C. So either Mike or Bobby are going to get a sample of each of these.
Yeah.
So let's see. Hopefully lots. Okay, so we're caught up on the chat here.
Okay.
Let's get into it with the first question. You want to go first?
I don't know.
Well, here, you know what? Let's do,
because
I need to give you 2 cards.
Okay, is this the top left?
Each. Yep.
Okay.
So top right. You'll see I am not looking at these. Bottom left. Bottom right.
So Ben has had 2 weeks to memorize each and every card and the answer.
Yes, and I've gone through the whole deck. Well, see, then I want all of our Patreon subscribers to win, so I don't really have a dog in the fight here. Whoever wins, I mean, that's awesome.
I will try to answer honestly, but I'm really bad at trivia overall. I know some things, but I don't know most things.
Well, and you know what? Some of these questions are so random
that
it's not really based on your knowledge. It's like, did you happen to see that movie?
Yeah, exactly.
And some of them are like just guesses. Yeah. You know, like how many liters is
Would you like me to read first?
Sure. So pop culture is the top left, and that's what we're starting with. So let me go into full screen here.
These. They don't need to stay here.
Yeah, we can put them like, there we go. Can't really see them, but that's fine.
That's okay.
All right. So pop culture, guess number 1.
What bourbon brand? Okay. So we're in a good category at least.
Okay.
Was featured in the July 2022 segment of Fox and Friends. Your choices are A, Buffalo Trace, B, Jim Beam, C, Bullitt, D, Jack Daniels.
You know, I'm going to go and be 100% honest with you. I shuffled all these cards, but I think we had this question in the last game. You had it. So let's pick a different one because it's a Beam product, isn't it? Yeah. I knew that because we had that last. What are the odds? There's a lot of cards here.
Yeah.
That we would end up just getting the same one. We might double up on these. As we go forward in the future, by the way, we're going to have guests on that play this.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter because if you get the answer right because you saw it on a previous broadcast, that's just props to you for watching our show regularly.
Yeah, totally. All right, we're going to start over at the top. What brand did Owen Wilson's character order for the table in The Internship? Okay.
I know what this is.
I don't know. I know who Owen Wilson is, but I don't know anything beyond that.
Okay. So the first time when I got this game, we played this before we actually made it a game show, and we just tested it out and asked each other random questions.
It's not.
And we had this question. This is the second one in a row we've already had, but I have video proof that I got it right the first time because I absolutely know the answer to this. So let's just keep it.
Okay. So choices are A, JTS Brown, B, Pappy Van Winkle, C, Old Forester, or D, Blanton's.
I know the answer. I'm going to give the audience a second. Like I said, I do have video evidence that we did have this question just after Christmas.
Okay.
But I got it right because I absolutely know this one. The answer is Pappy Van Winkle.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right. Let's exit full screen, see if anybody else put... Nobody guessed.
I think... Oh.
Are we allowed to answer out here, Bourbon School? Yes, you can, because we're going into. Story time said bullet.
No, he may have been referring to the previous question before we.
Yes, for the first one that we ended up shelving.
Right.
So yes, go ahead and Aiden got it. Pappy.
Wolfie said 136. It is 136.8.
Sweet. Here, let's So yes, feel free to answer these, because when we go into full screen mode, we can't see the chat. So we block it out so we can't see it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to know the answer to any of these, I don't think.
Okay, so let's go into full screen here.
Okay.
In pop culture, Greg.
Okay.
In the original Star Trek series, what brand's bottle was used to serve Saurian brandy? Have we had this before? It doesn't ring a bell. I thought there was a Star Trek question at one point. I can't remember. I have no idea. Anyway, in the original Star Trek series, what brand's bottle was used to serve Saurian brandy? Is it A, Sugar's Best, B, Old Granddad, C, George Dickel, or D, Jim Beam?
You know, my first guess is not even on that list.
What would you have guessed? Blanton's?
No, Jack Daniels, because it's a square bottle and it's kind of like,
iconic,
this was back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And so what bourbons were around in this?
Do you want me to read through them again?
I 100% guess. I have absolutely no idea. But I think it's Jim Beam.
Final answer.
Yeah.
The answer is George Dickel.
Ah.
All right. So that is a big fat X.
X. Bobby, it's not looking so good.
Hey, we're only in round one. A lot can happen.
That's right.
OGD.
That's Dickel.
Bad expert. Dickel. Yeah, Aiden got that right. Dave Vogel saying got it right.
I should have phoned a friend.
Get wrecked, nerds. Fireball. Sir Cuts is in the house. What's up, Sir Cuts?
Fireball. All right. So next category. Let's get this game
The next
moving.
category is history and lore. That will be your top right.
History and lore.
Let's go into full screen here.
Okay. Name the scandal where the distillers colluded with the IRS agents to avoid taxes. Choices are
Okay.
Watergate, Teapot Dome, Pappygate, or Whiskey Ring.
What was it? They colluded with the IRS?
Name the scandal where distillers colluded with the IRS agents to avoid paying taxes.
Okay.
Watergate, Teapot Dome, Pappygate, or Whiskey Ring.
So Pappygate, I believe, is actually the name of a different scandal. You know, there's that documentary on Netflix where so I think that's Pappygate. So I'm just going to shelf that one.
Yep.
Obviously Watergate. So I don't know. I'm sure whatever I answer, if it's wrong, there's going to be something in the title that I should have. I'm going to go Teapot Dome just as a total guess.
Such a great guess.
But is it right?
It's a great guess for Bobby because you are wrong.
Damn it. What is it?
It's Whiskey Ring.
Nice son of a... See who else got it right or wrong. Bobby had it wrong with Pappygate. Brian Vaughn had it right. Aiden had it right.
Drinking
beer. This is the... So, Mike, I'm doing a mostly dry February. I say that because I've had 2 cheat days that I added on. Cheat days for at the beginning of the month.
Cheat day.
So this is actually non-alcoholic.
Yeah, so it's not even a real beer.
I had 2 cheat days, but I added like 5 days at the beginning of the month just to be safe. But my best friend was in town. I haven't had drinks with her in like 4 years. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely going out for drinks. So anyway, we're history teachers, so we knew it wasn't Teapot Dome. Oh, so our bourbon school, are you guys both history teachers? Teapot Dome was a bribery scandal with the president. Oh, okay. We're learning all kinds of stuff. So
interesting.
I have a big fat X for question number 1 on history and lore. Let's see if Greg has better luck than I do. We're going full screen here, folks.
Just so that we can't see your comments and influence us.
But it doesn't change the way it looks to them. So
yeah.
According to bourbon legend, why were bourbon barrels originally charred? This is an interesting question. Is it A, to make them watertight? Is it B, to reuse old barrels?
Yes.
Is it C, to destroy evidence of illegal moonshine, or D, to prevent illicit reuse? I say this is an interesting question because actually in bourbon lore, there are a ton of answers to this question.
I feel this one may not be a clear cut and dry answer.
I don't think it is, because all of the reasons that I've actually heard are not on this list.
Me too.
So none of these are ones that I've ever actually heard before, which is interesting.
Yeah, can you read the choices again?
Okay. So, and some of the wording on these is weird. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to influence your answer, but I'm picking up on weird wording here. According to bourbon legend, why were bourbon barrels originally charred? To make them watertight, to reuse old barrels, to destroy evidence of illegal moonshine, or to prevent illicit reuse?
Sorry, Bobby. I think I heard a different story, but I feel
I've heard a number of different stories, and none of them are this.
Yeah, I feel it's the illicit reuse, and I don't have anything more to go on, so let's do that.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. It's to reuse old barrels, which I think is weird wording because bourbon is new charred oak barrels. So it's interesting that it was originally used, charred for the purpose of reusing old barrels. So the reason that one was a weird one is because, let's see, Aiden, that's a debated question. Yeah, the answer here should be for travel overseas, watertight.
I also heard that they use uncharred, but then some caught on fire and they went ahead and used them anyway. Turned out that was better.
I think that was the story of Elijah Craig, part of him being the father of bourbon, which is also heavily debated. Yeah. But in that history lore, I think the barn caught on fire and then he had to store his whiskey to get it down the river or something. I've actually heard ones where they used old fish barrels and they burned the inside of them to get rid of the fish taste.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I want to contest that question.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
That's okay.
For sure.
That's fine. Bobby doesn't deserve to win.
Well, now. All right, so
we'll make up for it next time.
Moving on to
it's you and
science and craft. That will be your bottom left.
Okay, so this is a true or false question, so I'm going to give you 3 choices.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great.
True or false? Tennessee whiskey can legally be called bourbon.
That's true. Well, okay. In the state of Tennessee or according to NAFTA, because according to NAFTA, Tennessee whiskey is bourbon. So that's, again, I guess I'm
giving everyone on the internet a second because.
Have I missed something? Or do you want to just get the fighting going on?
Yeah, I'm getting, because I mean, obviously, if there were a lot of people in here, I mean, there's some pretty strong opinions, but.
Yes. Is anyone from Tennessee in the chat by any chance? So according to NAFTA, federal law, NAFTA classifies Tennessee whiskey as bourbon. I don't know if the state of Tennessee has legally, because I think they did at some point, but I think at the distillery, they'll even tell you that it's classified, that Tennessee whiskey is bourbon, but is it legally called? I'm going to say yes. So reread the question to make sure I'm answering this right. That it
Are
can
you saying
be
yes?
Well, reread the question.
True or false? Tennessee whiskey can legally be called bourbon.
True.
Oh, I wanted you to stick with yes because that would have been wrong. Yes, it's true.
It is true. Okay.
And I think legally it's true as well. But
all right, get a check mark there. I need to get a green marker. Hit the full screen button there. Oh. All right, let's see the true. Yeah, everybody was. Elijah Craig wasn't the first. Oh yeah, that's a heavily debated story.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It totally is.
Evan Williams was supposedly the first. Elijah Craig was supposedly the first. True. We got. By the way, this is going. I have no prospects of winning.
Well, he selectively shuffled before I got over here. Obviously,
it's not the state of Tennessee just part. Okay, meets all the qualms of bourbon, but legally can't be called bourbon. Apparently, according to the game and according to the North American Free Trade Association, it can be. So now we're moving on to science and craft for Greg. We still have another round of questions. Yeah. So there's 8 total questions.
Oh wait, no, I'm on science and craft.
Yeah, okay, yep, gotcha. That's what I've got here.
All right.
Yep, science and craft. We're going full screen. Okay, which of the following is not the name of a cask size? Is it the Butt, the Puncheon, 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 I don't know, Butt, Puncheon, Half, or Blood Tub? Which of the following is not the name of a cask size? Butt, Puncheon, Half, Blood Tub.
I really like to phone a friend because
we had that go out of full screen. You can phone the internet.
Yeah,
See if
exactly.
anybody.
I'm guessing Puncheon is French, and that's probably is one. But is a unit of measure, and so that probably is one. Half, maybe too simple, but it makes sense. Blood, what's it?
Blood Tub, all one word. Spelt exactly how you would
I
think.
never have heard of it, but I've never heard of Blood Tub, so, but I know I'm wrong, but let's go with that because I have nothing else to go on.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
This is such a good guess.
Yeah.
For Mike Meyer, because it is actually half, C half. Butt, Standard, Hogshead, Puncheon, Port Pipe, and Blood Tub are all the names of various cask sizes. I had no idea. I wouldn't have known what to guess there either. So this is going to be one of those games where it's nothing but guessing.
Games. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're moving on to neat or nice, bottom right.
Neat or nice.
But let's check the chat here and see if anybody got that one.
Yeah.
Blood Tub.
Well, thanks for that, Bobby.
Meets, I believe it was Puncheon, Blood Tub. Greg, to be fair,
Yeah.
I've gotten as many right as you have. I'm going to switch to Blood Tub. The Powder Blue Blazer is money. Thank you, Hangin' AZ.
Thank you.
Ask me if it's good or bad. I'll get that right every time. Hey, Bobby, I saw your Jim Beam repeal batch review today. That was awesome.
Queued up for tonight. Haven't seen it yet.
That seems like another debatable answer. It does, Aiden. But it's got the answers up right there, so that one should be written down as fact. I mean, you could have half a barrel, I suppose, right? I mean,
no, I don't think that was the question, but
it's not a standard.
yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to neat or not, which I think is just anything goes.
Mixed. Well,
okay.
It's mixed drinks.
Well, that's what we thought last time, and then we ended up having some.
Is.
Okay, which
Okay.
I know nothing about. So.
When you order this cocktail, you'll get a drink with bourbon, simple syrup, mint, and lemon wedges. So I'm guessing you picked the name of the thing. You ready for your options?
Yeah.
Or do you want the ingredients again?
I mean, I guess I'm going with mint julep, but doesn't that have like powdered sugar in it or something?
So
okay, yeah, let's go with the options.
Okay, mint julep, Kentucky Mule, Manhattan, or bourbon smash.
What are the ingredients again?
Bourbon, simple syrup, mint, and lemon wedges.
I'm going to go with mint julep. It seems most obvious. It's not a Manhattan, unless it's a weird one. Bourbon smash, I mean, that could be any, like I make cherry bourbon smashes, but
That's hard. I don't know the answer. I cover up the answer, so I don't know what the answer is either. You're going.
I'm going mint julep. It doesn't have powdered sugar in it usually.
It does have mint or powdered
but
sugar.
the simple syrup. Let's go mint julep. All right.
I think this is good news for Bobby because it is a bourbon smash. Smashes were designed to enjoy on hot summer day. So were mint juleps. That's what it means.
Okay. Well, I've only made cherry bourbon smash. Okay, everybody else knew that.
And
Hangin' AZ was with me on the
bourbon
julep.
school, they did a strawberry smash that was amazing.
Was that the Valentine's?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I need to try that because I do like cherry bourbon
So
smashes
the first time I made it with maple syrup, like they suggested,
Mhm.
and it was okay. But then I did regular simple syrup with it, and it was amazing.
All right.
So
that's a big fat X for me on neat or nice.
we've got a long ways to go.
It's only 2-0 here.
Well, yeah.
And we still got a whole nother round to play.
Well, I'm still.
And
on
you
the
still
first-
you still have a neat or not. So you could come slamming home with you could be halfway there.
Yeah, I need some more whiskey.
All right, let's go. Neat or not? No, this is another cocktail one.
Mint julep.
This is awesome.
Awesome in a bad way.
Which cocktail is made with bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, and an optional egg white? Is it A, a Sazerac, B, a Manhattan, C, a whiskey sour, or D, a Ricky?
I think it's whiskey sour.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You're confident with that one.
No, I'm not.
Which cocktail is made with bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, and an optional egg white?
I don't know what a Ricky is.
I don't think I do either. Sazerac, a Manhattan, a whiskey sour, or a Ricky?
I think sour.
Final answer?
Yeah, it's as good as
It is a whiskey sour. All right, you're closing the gap here, Greg.
Yes.
That is a point on the board. It's 2-1 here. And we have a whole nother round to play. Let's see if anybody got that right in the chat.
Sour.
Yep, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to try a cherry bourbon smash. You definitely do. There's a, we should make a video on that. We actually talked about making that
And
for like a whatever Wednesday.
I mean, we could have the bourbon school on and talk about the even
for
though they
sure.
already did a video of it, but we could just have them talk about it because
Absolutely.
I really liked it with my modification.
Isn't a Ricky with gin? Yeah, that actually sounds right. A gin Ricky.
Well, anything could be with something else. That doesn't mean it's right.
A Ricky is bourbon, lime juice, and soda water. Okay.
Seriously. I've had that before, actually, Aiden, but I didn't know the name of it.
All right. So now we're back to category number 1, pop culture.
Oh, man.
All right.
I got to tell you, I just had to pour this.
Of the Elijah Craig.
It's exceptional. It's better than exceptional.
I've only actually had a pour out of that bottle once. And I think we tried like 6 Elijah Craig barrel proofs that night. And it was outside. So I don't really have a great, so I'm going to have to snag a pour of that from you when I'm not doing this stupid pointless exercise and not drinking. Greg's a closer. Who knew? I knew. I didn't counted him out. All right. I did tell, don't sleep on this man. You never know. I know how that could, is Crossfire recruiting in the,
Let's just move
in the
it.
chat.
Let's move along.
All right. Let's
Nothing
go
more to
full
see
screen.
here.
Pop culture.
Is it your question?
Top left. My question. Yes.
All right. Which classic bourbon cocktail was frequently consumed in the series Mad Men?
Did we have this one before?
I have no idea. No.
Okay.
Choices are A, highball, B, old fashioned, C, boulevardier, or D, Manhattan. Which bourbon cocktail was frequently consumed in Mad Men? Highball, old fashioned, boulevardier. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but you do better.
I get it.
Or Manhattan.
I never watched that show, so
Me either. 1960s.
I mean, you want to say old fashioned, but what was the first one?
Highball.
Highball. Okay.
I thought that was a glass. I didn't know it was a drink. See, I don't drink drinks. That's the hard part.
I know. I'm going to go with Manhattan. This is just a guess. I don't know.
It's an old fashioned.
Son of a. God. I was going to guess that, and I was like, it seemed too obvious. Okay.
Okay.
Greg, with the chance to tie it up with pop culture. Oh, let's see who's shouting that.
Highball.
You had this one, old fashioned. Wolfie, I know. I shouldn't have. I'm not going to sleep on Greg, guaranteed. Oh, we can put chats up in here. I kind of forgot we should. Heating up over here. We'll need to get some EC for summer sipping. Nice. Aiden's going to pour some C921. Yeah. Let's do a smash episode in the summer for sure. Absolutely. That cherry bourbon smash is a great summer drink. We were making those last summer quite a bit. All right. So, Greg.
Next question.
Pop culture. For the chance to tie it up. In the 1969 film Easy Rider.
Never saw it.
Jack Nicholson's character drinks a pint of A, J.T.S. Brown, B. Pappy Van Winkle, C. Old Forester, or D. Jim Beam?
See, I don't know when a lot of these brands like JTS Brown started, and some of them died and came back.
Yeah.
But I know Beam has been around. I don't think Old Forester was around, but I could be totally wrong about that. What was B?
Pappy.
Yeah, I don't think Pappy was around then. I think he started. I don't remember. I'm gonna go with D.
Final answer.
Yeah, I have no.
Greg for the tie. It is Jim Beam. But I found it funny that you said you didn't know if Old Forester was around because they were pre-Prohibition.
Well,
they kept going through Prohibition.
So a lot of
they were certainly around in 1910. We know that.
Well, no, I mean they could have started last week and put out a 1910
That's true.
bottle.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so Greg, but this is a tie game, folks.
But like Eagle Rare used to exist.
Then it went away, yeah.
And then it came back. And so I think Old Forester could have done that. I don't know. Yeah.
Barrels and Bark, says Jim Beam. Welcome, Barrels and Bark. Old Forester, the first bottled whiskey. See, Wolfie, that's what I maybe would have guessed.
What year, approximately?
Long time ago.
No, like I'm curious. Like I really should do more research.
Well, apparently, I mean, you won the first game and we're tied in this one now.
Well, okay. But you have a question.
I dropped a 2-point lead. So let's go full screen and see if I can get it back.
Let's.
History and lore.
History and lore. Until 2008, what Barton Distillery? Let's try that again in English.
Cask strength bourbon, folks. What's that 136 proof?
No, I can't read. Until 2008, the Barton Distillery was known as what? So the Barton Distillery was known as something else.
Okay.
Your choices are A, Bart's Distillery.
Okay.
B, Tom Moore Distillery. C, Angel's Envy Distillery. Or D, Castle and Key Distillery.
I think we may have had this question when we were playing around with it at Christmas time, but both of us knew it right away. It's obviously Thomas S. Moore or Tom Moore, however they do it.
Yep.
So we're going to keep the question because, again, if there's one that's that obvious that we may or may not have had it, I can't remember. It sounds vaguely familiar, but super obvious.
I know that you knew that answer.
Yes.
So
okay.
even if you hadn't seen it before, you would have got that right. I would have got that right.
It is no longer a tie game. So now, Greg, you got to stay with it.
Do that catch-up thing again.
All right.
Yeah.
Tom Moore, yes, for sure. Tom Moore was the answer. All right. So, Greg, for history and lore.
History and lore.
I think we had this in the last game. How is this possible? There's so many cards here.
Well, if it's easy, then I want it again.
But I think, no, actually, you know what? We had something similar. And I'll tell you after the question.
Okay.
If you remember the last game, which constitutional amendment ushered in the era of prohibition? Second Amendment? Did we have this?
I think it's...
Or did we have the one where it was... Because remember I said nobody in our channel is going to say Second Amendment? Everybody...
Yeah, right.
I feel like we did have it.
I absolutely think we had a question like this. Now, whether it's
similar.
Varies.
So, A, Second Amendment, B, 18th Amendment, C, 21st Amendment, or D, 24th Amendment.
So I think it's 18th, and then it was repealed at the 23rd Amendment would be my guess. So maybe we had the other one, but I would say 18th Amendment.
Could be. That is correct. It is the 18th Amendment. It would be so weird if we got multiple...
Yeah. The luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Neither of us are Irish.
This is the stack of history and lore questions. That's just one category. We have 4 of these. And for some reason, I feel like we've gotten a couple that showed back up. But yes, tie game, 3-3, halfway through the second round. Things are heating up here.
Things are heating up.
Yeah, for sure. Repealed with the 21st. I thought it was the 24th.
We'll see. We all would have got it wrong.
Somebody looked that up on the Google machine and and see what happens. Okay, so my next question.
So what happens is they allow people to buy bourbon again.
That's okay. Yes. Gotcha. That's all I needed to know. Science and craft.
Yes.
All right. Let's hear it.
I want to argue with the person who just posted that last comment.
What was it? Let me see. To answer Greg's question, 1870 is when Old Forester was first bottled.
Well, yes, we know that a lot of these companies existed back in the old time, back when the world was in black and white. But then there's this thing that happened called Prohibition that kind of messed
Old
things
Forester
up.
bottled through Prohibition as medicinal.
And then there was this other thing that happened called World War II, which messed things up. And then we have modern era.
Yeah, so you're right. You never know. Some of these older brands, they come back.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Peerless one of them, actually?
Who knows?
That was around a long time ago.
Yes.
People are saying the 18th and the 1st. Aiden had chorizo before his Elijah Craig barrel proof, and it's coming off real spy. Imagine it is. It's an interesting combination. Although we did flaming hot Cheetos and Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. That was interesting.
No, we did Fireball.
We did both.
Oh. Anyway, that's not as important as this question.
Let's do it. Science and craft.
For the Michael Moore.
Mike Meyer.
Mike Meyer.
Yeah. Here.
The other,
Let me get this Coy Hill and get you a pour of that as well.
Let's
see what happens.
What's the maximum proof? You're going to know the answer to this one. This isn't fair. What's the maximum proof at which distilled bourbon spirits can enter the barrel?
1.5.
Yeah. Don't even
nailed it.
Don't even need to look at the answer on that one.
All right, Greg. This is a clutch situation for you because we're one of the final two categories. You need to keep the tie game up to make this.
I'm
all right.
Aware. I would like to not have an.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everyone.
Honestly, the flavor combo is good.
Nice.
I have to try that at some point.
Good char.
Okay.
Chorizo.
Science and craft.
Well.
For Greg, round 2. Let's get into it. It's a true or false. So you got 50-50 shot here.
That is true.
True or false? I'm just gonna give you the check mark on this one before you even ask. The 3 main ingredients in any whiskey are grain, yeast, and hops.
You know, I don't think that's true.
Is that your final answer?
I think Bobby would also agree that there's not a lot of hops in a bourbon.
You haven't said final answer yet.
So I think false. I'm not going to agree with your premise.
That is false.
All right.
All right. This game is getting interesting, folks.
So we have one.
We have one round to go. It's 3-3. Wait, no.
It's tie. It doesn't matter what the.
No, it's 3-4. You're behind by 1.
What? Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I have 4.
Oh, that's okay. You've got. Sorry, I didn't look at the last one. I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute. I thought we were tied. Okay, yeah. So it is 4-4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at the bottom
you have
category.
1 to go, and then I'll have 1 to go.
Right. Yeah. I was only looking at the categories we've already done all the way through. So now, final category. It's tied. You got your last need or not correct. I got my last one incorrect. So, I mean, if there were announcers for this, like football announcers, they'd really be throwing out the stats. You know?
Yeah.
Greg's batting 1,000 on need or not. Ben is batting 0. Let's see what happens. Tie game coming into the home stretch.
But
okay, so need or not.
Okay, so what cocktail
Son of a bitch.
is made from bourbon, lime juice, ginger ale, and a lemon wedge?
God, a lot of the lime and lemon wedge and okay.
Yeah, so you got to get those right.
Okay.
Choices are A, a dump truck, B, a Prius, C, your grandmother's scooter.
Okay, you're making shit up now. You can definitely tell which one of us is not drinking tonight. I'm going to go with your mother's scooter or your grandmother's or whatever. All right, are you trying to avoid giving me the real answers because you think I'm going to get it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the answer is either. But...
This is not my strong suit, so
okay.
Let's have it.
It's your blue suit. Oh my God. All right, we'll start over.
If this is a pre-recorded video, I could just edit him out.
What cocktail is made with bourbon, lime juice, ginger ale, and a lime wedge? A, bourbon smash, B, old fashioned, C, Ricky, or D, Kentucky Mule?
I'm going to go D, Kentucky Mule, final answer.
I think
just because of the ginger ale.
I think you're correct. And you're correct.
Bam. All right. Mike. If you watch this on the rebroadcast, we just need Greg to get this wrong.
It's a 50-50 chance.
If you get it right, we're going to have to go into a bonus round.
A bonus round?
Yeah. We'll just each pick one category. We'll just pick one of the categories. We'll each take a card. All right. So, neat or not, let's check and see who got that right in the things here. Oh, hey, Bourbon School threw in a super chat. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Mule, water, false, hops.
That was from the Kentucky Mule. It says, gotta bounce, guys. Thanks for the entertainment. Let's do that Buffalo bottle swap. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
I hope they were still on to see that we did see that.
Oh, I didn't realize those were the people from Buffalo. Like I've seen their channel.
They're from Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that...
I didn't realize it was the same person.
Aiden says, should be ginger beer, though. So that's what I was wondering. So isn't there a different... Is a Kentucky Mule...
So I've heard of a depth charged.
Yeah.
As is like ginger ale or bourbon and ginger beer.
Yeah, but who
knows?
Isn't there like a Russian mule or something that's served in the...
Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule. But that one has ginger beer.
Does it? I don't know.
And so when they said ginger ale, I was thinking that since it was a different kind of, ginger ale, ginger beer, and that was a bourbon drink. Ryan Frank, I just galloped into your live chat on invisible horse named Big Butch with my coconut shoes on for sound effects on Big Butch, and I are a little sweaty, but tip of the cowboy hat, boys. Ryan Frank, that just gave me the greatest mental picture ever. The question is, are you shirtless and glistening when this is happening? That's what everybody wants to know. Bad Axe Bourbon says, give Greg a true or false question. Dave says Moscow Mule. Okay.
All right, so it's time. I need to get this right in order to...
1 second left on the clock. It's a 50-yard attempt to tie it up and send it into overtime.
Okay.
Ryan Frank says, yes, he is topless and moist. Going into full screen mode here. It is a true or false question.
Bobby called it. Good job.
Okay. True or false? Fighting Cock Bourbon has been nicknamed the Kickin' Chicken.
Well, I'm sure somebody's called it that, right?
Have the people at Bourbon Trek called it that?
I think yes. I mean, there's the Flaming Chicken also, but I'm going to say true because I'm sure someone has, and I don't know who wrote this question, but it's got to be. Like, there's no way for this to be false. They can't prove it false because someone somewhere has called it that. So I think it's got to be true.
Final answer.
Yeah, I think so.
It is false. Greg, the Minnesota Vikings of Bourbon Trivia chokes at the last minute to send it into overtime.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's false.
It's not.
Which means
there's no way that's false.
We're 1-1 now.
There's no way. Everyone agrees.
Oh, and it says on here, it says actually Wild Turkey has the nickname of the Kickin' Chicken, as well as the Screaming Eagle and the Dirty Bird. According to who?
Yeah.
Who knows? So now, I mean, yes, but they've also called Wild Turkey 101 that.
Yeah, I know.
So Bobby, unfortunately, didn't bring home the goods this time, but I mean, he's got a channel. I mean, probably send him some whiskey samples at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
But that means Mike Meyer, who I haven't seen pop up in the chat yet, but
I thought he was here earlier.
Is going to get, was he in here earlier?
Way at the beginning.
Jonathan Marty in the house. I don't know if we've seen you in the chat before, but welcome.
Hey, Jonathan.
So we'll have to send.
Yeah.
Whiskey Wars is in the house too. Sean, I don't know if you're still in here or not. I missed some of these chats.
Yeah.
Sugar Kitty's here.
We go off the screen. Hey, Sugar.
What's up, Sugar? So yeah, sometimes when we go off screen here to
some of them.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
So this is what Mike Myers. We're gonna do samples of Peerless, Double Oak, and Elijah Craig C919.
The 100. What is this?
136.8.
Yep. So this is back when the Elijah Craig
Back
barrel
before
proofs
the big deflation of proof points, I guess it is.
Were hardcore.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have we're 1-1 here.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. So we've each won one. So we're gonna have to play another one.
Well, it's okay.
At some point.
Well,
at some point we want to get other channels in and maybe they can play on behalf of one of their Patreon supporters.
So if you have a channel, start studying up on your bourbon lore and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
We're going to have you on and you're going to play to try to score samples for your Patreons.
Yep.
Or supporters.
And if you want to become a Patreon supporter of ours, go to Patreon, look up the Bourbon Note, and you can be in the spinning wheel next time Greg and I go head to head. Storytime says it sounds rigged.
Yeah, totally agree.
Such a tease. Great game, boys. Hey, Shane, I've got my bottle of Friday Night at Fred's. Not 5 Nights at Freddy's or whatever I said in the chat on Whiskey Wars. I just had a total brain. That's the name of a video game or something like that I've never played and never really even seen. But so I was trying to say, hey, I got a bottle of Friday Night at Fred's, and I said 5 Nights at Freddy's like a moron. But anyway, I'm super excited about getting that bottle here.
But we have those other samples.
Yep, and we have a bottle of, is it the Port Night or the Port Night Rises?
No, it's different. But you said that, and it was actually a different name, and I don't know if I have a picture of it on my phone.
You actually texted me a picture of it at one point.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see.
I'm trying to find it.
If not, I can go through our texts. So anyway, yeah, we're looking forward to doing maybe a live with those or something. But yes, if you want to become the Port Night. Okay. Bottle number 91 of 144. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm curious, what's the proof on the Peerless?
1091.
109.1. Yep. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, we're going to be doing more stuff like this, doing little giveaways and samples and stuff like that. $3 a month at the lowest level. That's all you need.
And occasionally we need to do more of this. We're in a legitimate blizzard outside. It's been miserable out there.
Yeah.
But once the weather gets a little bit nicer, we'll go out and hang out in the garage on Friday nights and do Zoom calls where we drink whiskey and we'll actually get on camera and we talk to subscribers and people and just hang out.
And we do that offline. We do, so if you don't want to be on the internet, but yeah, sometimes we'll just throw an invite and say, hey, we'll be available from 6 to 7. We're drinking whiskey, and if you want to join on on Zoom, so yeah. Check that out. We'll send some swag every once in a while. We actually have some swag that we're making right now.
Yes.
That's going out to our Patreon subscribers. So for any of you that are in the chat, there's some stuff coming soon. It's actually in the process of being made as we speak.
Yes.
So let's see. I'm here because my work said it was a good idea to call in. LOL. I had no way home. Nice. That's awesome. All right. Well, we're hitting that hour-long mark. I don't know if Steven over at Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans is going live. I forgot to check with him. But he usually does go live on Wednesday nights at 7 Central. So right after our show. So yeah, check it out. I'm still waiting for the heavy stuff to come. It's been all talk and no show. Yeah, it really has.
Today's
so you must
been
be
a letdown if you're a weather guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
maybe tomorrow.
A lot of people got to have the day off of work, but yeah, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's supposed to be Snowmageddon, but
Snowmageddon. I work from home, so every day is a work day.
Let's see. How do I do? Oh, I almost accidentally put you in timeout. I still don't know how to run this stuff. So anyway, well, thank you guys very, very much for joining us. And we'll probably be live again next Wednesday, provided no more of my appliances
flood.
Yeah, die out on me. Fingers crossed. So anyway, what does that say? They still say 8 to 12 inches. Okay, maybe. Well, we'll see what happens.
That's right.
So fingers crossed we don't get that.
That's right. Until next time, See you next time.